Sounds like today's America.
So what are you
saying there, Bob?
What are you saying? What are you
saying
there,
Ted?
Are you waiting for some commentary? Are you waiting for some disagreement? Are you waiting for some agreement?
I know. I don't know. Where are you at? Where do you stand? I'm just saying that I buy what I can. Like I had some slides on yesterday, and I was so proud to show my women ladies because I got them at the Dollar Tree.
How many barrels of oil did that cost?
I don't know.
Welcome you to the Riverside Weekly. We hope your time with us today is thought-provoking, spiritually challenging, and a life-changing experience. Our discussions and messages can be raw, real, and at times very uncomfortable and even controversial. We highly encourage all of our guests and listeners to take notes, leave comments, and when possible, always share what you hear. And now here are your hosts, Pastor Cello and Pastor Mia.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the podcast.
Good morning, guys. So sorry you guys missed us last week.
Wait, that you missed us? Or
yeah, that they missed us.
They missed us. You said you missed us.
Sorry, you guys.
You guys missed us.
Sorry, you guys missed us.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. But we're here. We're better.
And we still have the episodes going. So if you did know that you missed us,
then that's your fault. Ta-da! We're back. Never mind. We didn't miss anybody. No, I'm just kidding. But welcome everybody. We don't have the list of shout outs today, but I wanted to say, if you're out there listening to us, please share, with coworkers, with friends, anybody.
Oh man, yeah, we're trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. We're at like 332, 333 or something like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so.
I didn't know that. Well, that's pretty exciting. But anyway, so I'm back with a vengeance type thing. No, I'm just kidding. I want to talk about something that's actually not spiritual today. And it made me think.
I'm sure it'll get spiritual.
I'm sure it will too. But I wanted to talk about, okay, shameless plug first. So we have a garage sale coming up for the church. And I know I used to be about garage sales like every day of my life. I wanted garage sales. And if it was something, I was like, let's go, garage sale. And at the church all the time. And I remember you going, ugh, because that means I have to put up everything. I have to drag it out. I have to put yeah, right? But then
all facts.
But then you got to a point where you were like, listen, I cannot stand garage sales, but garage sales make so much money. And you guys, since the pandemic, you should have probably cleaned out every closet, organized every drawer, gotten rid of junk, and the sky split open, because that's not true.
The key word is there. Should have.
Should have, right. How many of you probably should have done a lot of things during the pandemic? We should have caught up on all the work we were supposed to do. We should have painted the house, done the stuff that we were supposed to do that we said we can't because we've been at work, right?
Yeah.
So, saying all that to say, we're having a garage sale at the church on May 15th. So if you'd like to send your donations, you can to 125 Carver.
Yeah, and if you're out of town, you can Cashapp us a donation.
Hey.
That was a super shameless pastoral plug. So
yeah, that
sorry.
was.
I didn't mean
you never do that.
I never do that.
Anyway, saying all that to say, it just made me think, because I'm a thrifter. I've always been a thrifter. I feel like you don't need to pop tags. You don't need to go buy something brand new. Listen, I have 2 of my sons, and probably 3, and probably way more, all of my kids. I have 7 kids, and I can guarantee that probably only 2 of those 7 don't do this. But 5 of the 7, if they get tired of dishes or clothing, they throw it away. It can be washed. It can be given away. You don't have to throw things away. I'm not going to name any names because y'all know which ones y'all are. And saying all that,
they don't watch our podcast.
Oh yeah, they don't watch our podcast.
They get enough of us in real life.
So maybe I should name them. No, I'm just kidding. But I wanted to say this. I sent this to my daughters, and the reason I did is because I just thought that it was such a great fact. It says, and this, guys, this isn't for you, so don't try to say, oh, she wants me to wear a dress. No. Anyway, it says wearing a dress 12 times saves 10.6 pounds of CO2 energy.
Oh my gosh.
Mind blown, right? But
I'm done. Keep going.
listen, Linda.
We just had Earth Day.
I know, that's
right?
why we're talking about this.
Me and my brother, if you don't know who he is, he's in San Antonio, so you can figure it out.
Tell us.
You know, we always thought about for Earth Day that we would burn tires and burn batteries to celebrate Earth Day, you know, and just say, you know, we support Earth Day, and so we're getting rid of batteries and tires.
Opposite.
Anyway.
Opposite, okay?
We have not yet done that, but we always talk about doing that.
Don't do it.
Anyway.
So all the families that are out there that only wear one thing once or use it one time and then throw it away, that's wasteful. And, you know, it makes me think of, Earth Day. Thank you. This is what we're celebrating, Earth Day. I am so passionate.
Week late.
Yeah, a week late. But I was sick, so, you know, I had to catch up. Anyway, so I am really passionate about wasting things. I always think about Staten Island. Guys, Staten Island was built on a trash heap.
That is brilliant.
That is not brilliant. That's
absolutely
disgusting.
brilliant.
Can you imagine how much junk and toxic waste was under that?
Can you imagine housing, how much housing was offered to people to be able to live on a... I mean, if you don't live on the trash, it's just trash, right? At least it gave a foundation.
Oh, okay, Mexico. Remember when we went to Mexico and we did mission
that,
trips?
Yes,
guys, we went to Mexico. We went to Mexico and we did mission trips, and these people and kids and families were living on the trash. They had created housing projects on top of the trash, which I'm sure they do in Bangladesh, India. If you've seen, what's my other favorite movie?
Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire. Jai ho. Sorry. Anyway, but I'm just saying all that to say that, you know, listen, if you've known me at any point in time of your life, I watched the movie WALL-E. And after I watched the movie WALL-E, oh my goodness, I made everybody in my house wash trash.
We are probably one of the few families in the Waco area that wash trash, so...
But I told him, if we lived in D.C., then we actually would get paid for recycling. But we don't. Waco, you better get on that. We need to get paid, because if we were getting paid, woo, people would be recycling. And I'm just saying that to say, waste, man, waste not, want not. Is that how they always say that?
Yeah,
I don't know what that is. Sure want not, waste not? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just saying that there is a lot of waste, a lot of things that we waste and that we shouldn't waste. And so it just made me think of this story, all right? This just really blew my mind. And guys, I don't come up with this stuff, okay? I just talk about it. It says, does it really matter where your clothes come from? Yes.
No.
Yes, it does.
See, we have a difference of opinion here.
Yes, we do. Because ask him where his pants come from. Ask him how many brand new jeans he's gotten before. And it better have been somebody that blessed you with it, or they must have been on sale.
I think, well, we've talked about this a little bit before. Like, I don't really go buy brand new jeans.
You're right.
The two things that I do buy that are brand new, or Pumas. Should I say the four things? Pumas, T-shirts, underwear, and socks.
Yeah,
that's probably all that I buy that's new.
Very, very.
And I'm not looking to see where their products are being made. I mean, if it fits
actually
good,
doesn't even like brand names.
You know,
if it has a brand on it, he's like, ugh.
Yeah, I'm not. There's a gnat.
Except for your jeans. Don't worry about it. Except for your jeans.
And my shoes.
Well, your jeans and your shoes, right? And that's big for him because he doesn't even know where that came from on his pants. But that was his wife having that many kids and having to save some serious money. So I was buying thrift. That's all I could afford at the time, especially on a youth pastor's budget. But I'm pumped. You know where that's coming from. And I'm just saying that, you know, other people have those same problems. And so during that time, I'm thrifting for all my kids. And, you know, y'all know about the recycling of the clothes. Your older sister, you get to wear it, you know, because you're the younger sister. And by the time it gets to you, hopefully it ain't torn or it had to be repaired type thing. And if you don't know that struggle, praise Jesus. Okay.
Well, there's not a documentary we watched about fast fashion with
Hassan Minaj?
Yes.
Hassan Minaj?
It's on Patriot Act. The
Patriot Act.
Patriot Act, if you want to go watch it on fast fashion. It was very, very interesting when it talked about fashion and going back to what you said, where it comes from. But I am like probably 99.9% of the people on the planet in the United States of America. We don't really think about where our clothes come from or what they're made of or anything like that.
So that's what makes me think of this story right here. So I'm just going to read this to you. It says, several years ago, I bought a Joe Fresh shirt that was in my eyes, perfect, comfortable, the right color, the right fit, the right price. I walked in with the checkout with the sense of accomplishment by saving money. I felt I was practicing Christian stewardship. Each good deal would give me margin, I thought, to meet other needs and give more generously elsewhere.
Amen.
What I didn't realize at the time, however, is that the low price often has a high cost.
Boo. Anyway, go ahead. Keep going.
Okay.
What's the high cost?
I'm going to tell you. On April 24, 2013, the Rana Plaza garment factory in Bangladesh collapsed with about 3,500 workers inside. Large cracks had been discovered in the walls the day before, but the workers were told if they did not enter the building, their month's wages would be withheld. Some were even threatened with a beating. So the workers filed back to their workstations. Hours later, the building crumbled, killing more than 1,100 people. Joe Fresh, the Children's Place, and Benton were some of the labels manufacturing their products in the factory that collapsed. Many other companies, including Walmart, as the largest, also manufacture their clothing in Bangladesh. The average monthly wage of a garment worker in the region is $37, and this low cost of labor is what gives companies higher profit margins. What's more, Rana Plaza is one of the many factories where safety violations have caused such disasters. This is the backstory on the other side of the price tag many consumers never see. So, saying all that to say, here it is. Here's where the finger pointing begins. See, I was pointing my finger. The race to the bottom, a byproduct of the unchecked capitalism, ensures that no one is really responsible for what happened. It becomes a classic case of plausible deniability, the condition in which a party can believably deny knowledge of a reality because the system has deliberately shielded them from the full picture. Sounds like today's America.
So what are you
saying there, Bob?
What are you saying? What are you
saying
there,
Ted?
Are you waiting for some commentary? Are you waiting for some disagreement? Are you waiting for some agreement?
I know. I don't know. Where are you at? Where do you stand? I'm just saying that I buy what I can. Like I had some slides on yesterday, and I was so proud to show my women ladies because I got them at the Dollar Tree.
How many barrels of oil did that cost?
I don't know. I don't know. But I'm just saying, and I even found a comfort color shirt. And guys, if you know comfort color.
How many sheep did that cost?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I was so proud of the freebies I got, and I was so proud of, the dollar items and the money I was saving. But then when I read this,
not thinking about what the cost was.
Yes.
And I got you.
Okay.
I'm with you.
I'm kind of on the fence because I love saving money, but at the same time, I never knew it was such bad like that,
Well, I think that's where
But I don't think you should be throwing it away after one wear.
Well, I think that's the trouble with us in America, with Americans, is
the first world problems.
First world problems is we want the newest thing, and it's old after 6 months or 6 weeks. We don't really think about the cost that it's taking, but at the same time, I also think that we can blow things out of proportion.
Yes.
Right. So if this is the part that we don't like. If you know that garments are being made overseas in
they call them seconds
sweatshops, let's just say outside the United States.
Okay.
If they're made out, any garments or products that are made outside the United States, if you are if you have so much conviction that you don't want to support that type of factory, company, organization, then that's where we have the freedom and the right to be able to purchase things that are made in America.
Okay.
Now, the issue or the tension that we face with doing that is that Americans like to get paid
top dollar, like
$10,
beyond
$15
top dollar
for doing a job that might cost $5. Right? And so in order to support to support a decent business where you're not taking advantage of children, not taking advantage of work conditions, those type of things for a cheaper product, then you have to be willing to pay the cost, because Americans are really proud of their time.
They're proud of everything.
And so the price difference is huge.
That's Bella Canvas. And Bella Canvas is proud to be soft.
So when you think about it in those terms, we have to understand that a lot of people, especially, I'm probably going to step on some toes, people get upset with me. A lot of people are getting into this place in mindset where we're beginning to become or have an attitude towards anti-capitalism.
Okay.
Right, but capitalism is that what makes everything go.
Okay.
Capitalism makes everything go. So you have a service, a goods or a service. You name your price, your value, and if people don't want to buy it, then they don't buy it. If they don't want to pay for it, they don't want to pay for it.
Which is what you tell me about my salsa.
Right. So on the flip side of that, what the bad thing about it is when you have people that are greedy. This is separate from capitalism.
Okay.
People that are greedy look at their bottom line only. They don't look at the work conditions. They don't look at the people that are working. They don't look at any of that. They're just looking at the bottom line. How many T-shirts, how many dresses can we get for $1.50? I can get, these people making these shirts or these dresses for $1.50. Cost me $1.50 a garment. I can turn and sell them in the United States for cheap, or for $3, $5, whatever, right? But when you're in the United States, that $1.50 is going to cost you $5 or $6, right? So it goes up. So the problem is not capitalism. The problem is greed. And people make decisions based off how greedy they are in other words, having more money, having a bigger profit margin. And this is the tension and the difference, or the problem that we get wrapped up in, is that we think that capitalism is bad. Capitalism isn't bad. It's misappropriation of capitalism. In other words, the CEO is only looking to make the shareholders more money, right? So if the CEO or the board is trying to make the shareholders more money, then they're going to go to Bangladesh where the building is bad, the labor's cheap. And so that's what they're thinking about. They're not thinking about the work conditions. Now, if you have a good person, a good sounding person, a balanced person who's not just wanting to make money, but to take care of the workers, take care of the employees, take care of the people that are, the products or the resources, then they're going to manage that better. And I think a lot of times what we do is we've taken the thought of capitalism and we make it bad. Like it's not that capitalism's bad. Capitalism is actually good. It's healthy. But what we don't like is the fact that people that are really bad at capitalism, right? And so this is the thing. It's like, do I agree that we should not have clothes made very cheap and sweatshop? Like, I don't think it's cool. It's like, well, the clothes you're wearing are there.
I'd be sweating when I'm sewing my clothes and making shirts. So is that a sweatshop? No, I'm just kidding.
So the thing is that I think a lot of times as consumers and quote unquote activists, all our woke people, I'm woke.
Okay.
But I think a lot of times in that process, we get hung up on the one thing that we're fighting for, whether it's labor, cheap labor, whether it's cheap labor, killing the ozone, pipelines going through Native American lands.
Hey.
Right? No, it's all together. Like it all goes together. But the people, do I agree with pipelines going through Native American lands? Absolutely not. But I believe in capitalism.
Okay.
Right? So I think they're wrong for pushing that through, and somebody should say something or do something, which they're not going to because of quote unquote capitalism. But the problem is that we like our cars, we like our plastics, if you think about the most individuals, not everybody, so some of you guys are going to be upset with me.
That's not me.
Most individuals will complain about the pipeline the pipelines going through Native American lands and all that, but they're still driving their car that use tires. The products that they have in their homes are all oil-based, or petroleum-based, right? So, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, that's my question. It's like,
ride your bike.
But you're using rubber tires.
Okay, well, make wood tires.
You understand what I'm saying? So you can't get away from the system. All you can do is wash trash. You literally can just make the difference where you're at. you can't make a big old difference. You're not going to change the system. The system's in place. You can make a difference in the system, but people there's still going to be somebody that's going to be hiring folks in third world countries to make really cheap Pumas, make really cheap T-shirts. So you're not going to do that because it goes all the way back to like, I got 50% off of my discount. Like I got a discount.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Get off the soapbox.
Okay. Sorry.
We're out of time.
It really wasn't a soapbox. I was just trying to explain.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. Guys, I felt like I was on The Prophet, didn't y'all? Okay. And that's just because he has me. And I went through every prophet. What's
She's talking about the TV show.
Yeah. What's the episodes? I went through the episodes. I could just see this episode and that episode. Okay. Get off your soapbox. Ready?
Okay.
This is going to end it right here.
Okay.
Then why try?
Why try? Because it's the way my dad used to say it. Okay. My dad used to drive me nuts.
Okay. Tell me.
My dad would never let us throw paper products away. Let me rephrase that. Whoa, he would never let us throw magazines or newspapers in the trash. Why? Paper bags. We would take the paper bags. This is before they had plastic bags. Everybody was using paper bags.
Yeah, we were using paper. That's right.
So he would take the paper bags and fill them up with the paper products, magazines, newspapers. And then we would take those and he would drop them off at the recycling center. This is before recycling was even a thing.
Oh, okay. We're talking that's me.
We're talking 40 years ago. Plus 30, probably about 35, 40 years ago. And I would always give him a hard time. I'm like, Dad, why are you doing this? He says, if I can make a difference for one tree, I'm going to make a difference for one tree. So that's a different thought process.
Well, that's my thought process.
That makes a bigger difference to me. It makes a bigger difference than holding signs and sending tweets. That's my opinion. I'm not saying you have to agree with me. So when you want to fight, when you're trying to fight that type of thing, you literally become a hippie, right? Like I'm only using the natural things, you know. Like, and I'm not. There's nothing against that, but it's one thing to hold your sign up and say I'm protesting the use of trees, but you've used paper and wood to put your sign together.
What you gonna wipe your butt with? Reusable cloth?
That's my point. That's my
Wipies are still paper.
Exactly. So that's my thought process, that there has to be a balance between what you're fighting for. If you're fighting for the sweatshops, if you're fighting for that stuff, yes, then if you really, really want to take that to heart, how far are you going to go? Like, if you're going to save trees, stop using toilet paper. If you're going to hold signs and tweet and be upset about saving trees, then stop using toilet paper. Right? Don't use paper towels no more. Right? And so we're like, what are you talking about? Well, you either for trees or you're not for trees.
Okay, but paper towels.
But this is where we're at. And people are like, well, you got to have a. So then what happens is when you have those discussions, you bring that type of stuff up like I'm bringing up right now. The problem is that when you begin to show that, now it starts to go, man, how much do I really believe this? How much and that's what I loved about my dad. My dad wasn't telling anybody to go recycle. My dad wasn't holding up signs. We didn't even have recycle bins in Waco. Like it wasn't even a thing. Like recycling, like they had one bin at the dump that you went and you took recycled glass and
newspapers,
right? And so he would drop off newspapers, right? When it's full, he'd take it, drop it off. But he wasn't the guy, you know,
holding up
signs and bashing everybody for killing trees, right?
Okay, but I don't bash anybody.
And this is the same guy. Wait a minute, this is the same guy who cuts a tree down because it's
in the way
of what he's trying to do in the backyard.
Trying to build a dang driveway.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like you have it's an inner struggle. There's some tension there, and I think when you start going, well, we have to all stop doing this. It's a lot easier to try to get everybody else to stop. When you're willing to stop yourself, right?
Wow.
It's if you're not willing to make those decisions, you know, like, I mean, we talk about how much we're against oil, and how much we're against capitalism, and how much we're against these different things. But if you go to a restaurant, plastic's being used. If you go to the grocery store, plastic's being used. If you're driving a vehicle, plastic's being used. If you have a job, plastic is being used. I mean, like, at what point do you say, okay, I can only do what I'm going to be able to do, and that's it.
It's so funny.
And that's the struggle, the tension that we have to deal with.
Well, it's so funny because you said it was going to get spiritual. It's so funny because automatically I instantly thought of when you were talking earlier about capitalism and, first of all, you said the inner struggle. To me, that's Christians. We have an inner struggle between good and bad. Same Constantly. With, you were saying capitalism and you were talking about how it is and you were saying these greedy people make it difficult for everybody to believe in capitalism. That's the same as a pastor. Those pastors that lead us down the wrong path and misuse scripture, those are the ones that cause people to flip over because they're like, I don't know.
Exactly.
So, yes, you're right. It did get spiritual pretty quickly because my head just went whoop into church,
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to get on my soapboxes.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's fine. You always come from the outside view. And yes, this was for Earth Day. This was for, things like that. But at the same time, it just made me think about things like that, and that made me, that one post about the dress was just like, this is why I do what I do.
Okay, I can get that.
Okay, see? Done. And that's why I'm having a garage sale. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Preach it. One man's church is another man's church, right?
Yeah.
Or what? Anyway, sorry, we better stop.
What do you see, one man's church?
One man's church is another man's church, right? I mean, what did you call it? Church hopping? Okay. All right. Now I'm getting a little too touchy. Let me get out there.
Next week, join us next week as we discuss church hopping. Are you a rabbit or not?
All right. See you guys next week. We're back.
We see you guys. Thank you guys. Thank you for subscribing, like, share. We holler at you guys.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Riverside Weekly. Download the Riverside Waco app to stay connected and follow us on all social media sites at the Riverside Waco. This podcast is made possible by the givers of Riverside Community Church. Production and engineering provided by Capital G and RTV in Waco, Texas.